Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the flock rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
Appreciate you, Ray. What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of The Flock Rundown. The Ravens just beat the Lions 38-6. What a win, man. Absolute domination. Before we get into the post-game thoughts, I want to shout out Remember the Name. With his 370-yard guess. He won the contest because he had the highest guess. It was also pretty close, too, but a lot of people were way under. I get it. I didn't know Lamar was going to blow up like this, but Lamar finished with 393 yards. So Remember the Name, got the $50. Congratulations. And let's stay right there with Lamar's stats. He finishes 21-27, 357 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 155.8 passer rating. He also had 36 on the ground and a touchdown on the ground. So 4 touchdowns for Lamar, 393 yards. I thought he basically played a perfect game. He was dicing the field. There was that one miss exchange with Justice Hill again, but with that led to a fumble. But other than that, I mean, Lamar was lights out. Todd Monken's play calling was incredible. We saw some new wrinkles to the offense a little bit today, especially throwing to the backs, throwing to Gus Edwards, to Ricard on that fake Lamar run, then roll out with the blocking. It really does look like Lamar's about to roll out. I think we hit Andrews on the same thing, but you can slip guys out of that, right? You got Gus blocking, and then he just slips out, and the linebacker obviously isn't following him that quick, so it's a nice dump down. Ended up being like an 80-yard screen. I don't know if that'll happen every time, but I just like the innovation, and I love the play calling throughout this game. It seemed like everything was going right. Defense played an incredible game as well. It helped a lot that the offense scored on their first 3 offensive drives and got us up 21-0. They're not able at that point to have a balanced attack on offense, and when you become one-dimensional, it's very easy for the defense to play you. We were getting a lot of pressure on Goff. I said in the pregame this was going to be key. The battle of the trenches was going to be key, and Detroit's line wasn't holding up. We were pressuring Goff. It does help, like I said, that we knew they were passing and, just having a drop-back passing game, play after play after play after play. The pass rush loves that. Shout out to Van Noy with 2 sacks, Owe with a sack, almost a recovered fumble on that sack too. Arthur Mullet had a sack. Matabike had a sack. Matabike is balling, man. He's definitely earning himself a big payday in a contract year, and so is Geno Stone, who came through with another interception. And this defense was just eating, as it always does, held the Lions' prolific offense to 6 points. So the defense showed up again. I think it was a little bit easier. There was a lot more weight off of them in this game just because the offense was scoring so early, so fast. And when you have a lead like that, like I said earlier, it makes you one-dimensional. So the defense almost has an easier day because of that. But the defense still did their job. I know Gibbs had a late touchdown. Gibbs had a great day, but that was really the only big play of the day and the only score of the day for the Lions. So I'll take it. Dominant performance on both sides of the ball. And this game shows you what this Ravens team can be, especially on offense. The defense has been kind of showing up like this week after week, right? I'm not that surprised. I was excited to see how they looked against offense that's been performing at a high level, but they look the same. The defense shows up week in and week out and is making it really difficult for opposing offenses to put points up. But the flip today was the Ravens offense. I mean, basically doing whatever they wanted to do. There was no rush. Shout out to the Ravens offensive line, especially in pass protection again. We also ran the ball well, too. I don't want to discredit them run blocking. I don't want to discredit Gus Edwards and Justice Hill. But we weren't running much early. I mean, what was working at a high level was this passing game. And it makes sense. This is kind of what we've been waiting for. This is how the Ravens look on paper. They look like they could be this dominant. And we finally got to see it. They finally put it together. Now it's about stacking games, This game reminded me of 2019 because it was about mid-season when we started to see the offense take flight and we never lost again the rest of the year. I'm not saying that's going to happen by any means, but this offense seems to be hitting their stride. They seem to be really rolling right now, and we're stacking weeks on weeks. We're staying healthy. Beckham was a little bit more involved. I see they're trying to get him involved more and more. They were trying to get him a touchdown there late in the game. Bateman was involved early, not as involved later, but in the second half, we weren't passing quite as much. Still waiting for Bateman to kind of take off, but once again, dominant performance from Mark Andrews. Great day for Zay Flowers. Big early catch from Zay Flowers, like 46-yarder on the first drive. That was huge just to get us right down in the red zone. And speaking of red zone, the red zone efficiency was incredible today. We only kicked one field goal, and we were scoring left and right. So everything went right today. It feels good. I'm sure you guys are celebrating the win. And I just can't say enough about how well Lamar Jackson is playing pretty much all year. I mean, we could point out a few mistakes here and there, but Lamar Jackson's been balling. Even the games we lost, especially the Pittsburgh game, that was Lamar's best game of the year, at least when reading the field, delivering accurate balls. We just had 8 drops, you know? Lamar's been on another level. He's playing his best football ever because we're seeing an evolution of Lamar Jackson. Not that he was never a pocket passer. If you're a Ravens fan, you know he could always sling it from the pocket, you know? Even back to Louisville, he was slinging it from the pocket. Lamar has always been able to do that. But our offense, especially over the last 5 years, has not been designed to attack downfield and not make Lamar a passing quarterback first. And he's definitely a passing quarterback first. Not many design runs at all, but he's running when the defense gives him that, or everything's covered downfield. Now Lamar can improvise and still get yards. And I think that's the best way for Lamar Jackson to play football. I think he is a pocket passer first. Now we have weapons downfield. And I'm gaining confidence in Todd Monken week after week. His play calling today was incredible. The entire offensive scheme, the space that we have out there with the weapons, with Lamar getting some time with the offensive line pass protecting like they did. I mean, if they play like this, we're going to be damn near impossible to beat this year. And I'm not expecting a performance like this every single week, but I want to see these moments more often. I want to see us finishing drives, getting explosive plays, you know, connecting downfield because we have the ability to. And if this is what we're seeing in week 8 against a great Lions team who was 5-1 and is, you know, their defense has had success all season long. They're in the top 5 defensive rankings and we just absolutely do whatever we want on them. It just shows you that the sky's the limit. This Ravens team can get so much better, and the trade deadline's coming up next week. We may add some firepower to the defensive or offensive side of the ball. I'm not sure. But, man, what a game. I'm feeling great about it. It's an exciting day. We finally don't have a nail biter or a bunch of things to complain about or stress over or, you know, no blown leads or anything. It was 28-0 at halftime, and I'm just like, please come out strong in the second half. You know, I know we can improve in some areas, but this was a beautiful performance on both sides of the ball. And I just want to enjoy it. I'm probably going to watch those highlights 10 times throughout this week. But let me know your thoughts about the game. What surprised you? What were you impressed with? What do we need to work on, if anything? Just leave me some comments. I always like hearing what you guys think. And just to go enjoy the rest of your Sunday and the rest of your weekend. And I appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. As always, have a beautiful rest of your day. And I'll talk to you guys next time.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.